Hello, hello. Merry Christmas, everyone. That's already passed. Happy New Year. Oh my gosh, you made it to 2026. Congratulations. However, some of you are not on the guest list. I'm so sorry. Some of you will not be allowed into the community in 2026. I'm so sorry. Not really. As a matter of fact, we may need to actually start kicking some of you off the guest list going into the new year. So, yeah. In other words, we have people or certain types of people that I and many others are just going to stop pretending are associated with this community. I want to be quick with this because this is mainly just my opinion. And while I do feel a lot of you may hold the same opinions I do, I'm really only doing this for me, and just hoping an overwhelming majority of you agree with me. If you watched my last episode, which was the hot takes video, you may remember that I did talk about these people, although I called them by another term, and that was mind blowers. I've been made aware since that episode that the term mind blower was a community-given name, basically meaning that they have some resemblance in the community. So for this section, I will be calling them gore remixers, since that term really boils down what they are. I'm gonna be honest, I have no idea what the actual point is with these kinds of people. I don't really know what they're trying to prove. These types of people are like the people who put a prompt into an AI generator and still call themselves a real artist. Like, no, just because you made an edgy remix of a guy offing himself, or a YTPMV using pictures of someone's family, does not mean you are part of the community. Go sit at the kids' table. The grown-ups are actually, no, don't go to the kids' table. Y'all already have bad histories with other kids. Oh, and speaking of people who also shouldn't be around kids, yeah, there are still some pedos in the community. Frankly, we primarily only have one, and we kind of need to separate him from the community. But we also have someone else who we got rid of, who is trying to come back, and we gotta hold off the fort. Frankly, I think anyone who hurts or manipulates a minor in a way these people have should be exiled from the community forever. It is one thing to completely destroy a child's life, but it's even worse to do that and then keep saying you are one of us. You are not the spices that make a burger. You're about as useful as the flag that comes with it in diners. You know, the one that gets thrown away with the rest of the scraps. Now, I will admit, these remixers I'm talking about were really good at what they did remixing-wise, and in my opinion, I think that just makes it worse. When they get exposed and everyone knows about what they did, the environment they inhabit becomes extremely unsafe. Sure, you can argue that they know better now, but if they were over the age of 18 and still knew what they were doing back then was wrong, who's to say they didn't just own up to it because they were exposed? Sure, they know what they did was wrong, and sure, maybe they didn't do it again, but that still doesn't mean they can just stay here. My main point for this section is just because these pedos owned up to what they did, they still need to be removed from the community and not seen as one of us. Because they aren't. I'm going to cover two specific instances in this section, starting with the Cambodian remixing channels that I talked about months ago. Yeah, saying they aren't a part of the community sounds pretty obvious, given that's not the reason they made these channels. They specifically said it was to share remixes with people in their country, which is weird because if they were able to find Sparta remixes, then surely people in their country could also do so on their own. So if that's the case, why am I talking about them again? Because not only are they still stealing your remixes, but they're also profiting off of them too. Every compilation of remixes across all of these channels include paid promotion, meaning they are making some kind of money off of other people's work. These compilations are very hard to strike down, so the next best option is public humiliation. These channels are not doing anything right. Another instance somewhat like this is also happening on TikTok, with Crossan being the primary person responsible for making these accounts known. These accounts are kind of like the Cambodian channels, except they're on TikTok, not YouTube, and they aren't from Cambodia. At least that I know of. And because it's on TikTok, if they were making any money off of these remixes, it's way, way less than what these channels are making. However, since most remixers don't make money off of the amazing work they make, I think it's scummy for anyone to just take your work and make money off of it, even if it's just a penny. Okay, I don't want to give too much attention to this guy, so instead, this is just going to be kind of an honorable mention. TSS was exposed to be a cyberstalker and was also someone who sent very discomforting messages to people in his DMs. As of making this video, he has a post saying he has left the SRC, but someone has told me that after saying this, he tried getting back into the Spartan Grounds Discord server after he was banned. So, who knows? Either way, I wouldn't really say he's a part of the community, given his history, but And for right now, I think that's all the people we are leaving behind in 2025. If you have any other suggestions, leave a comment. I might make a part 2. And there is one final thing that I do want to discuss that isn't technically having to do with this video. When I posted the hot takes video, I was heavily surprised to see a response from other people from Spartan Grounds. I made a post praising that server, and that was because I found out the whole reason specific people found out about that video was because it was sent there. If this video somehow makes it over there too, then hi. I don't know what was said about me during that time, but I can only hope it was something good. Nonetheless, though, I do still want to distance myself from the community for a bit longer, but I wanted to say that when I do return, I feel like Spartan Grounds might be the first server I go to, so hopefully it's still around when I do make that decision. I should also preface, I don't see myself as a saint just putting these out there, because again, I'm really just doing this for me. Additionally, I was glad to see the people I was talking about come out and respond just to take accountability on what I was talking about. So I respect the absolute hell out of them for it. So I think everything that I said there, we're just gonna leave it at that. Now, regarding this video, I just want to say that I don't really care if you associate with anyone that I mentioned in this video, because the point really wasn't for me to say, hey, stay away from these people. Because while it is beneficial to not associate with some of these people, my actual point is to say that these people aren't actually a part of the community like they think they are. They may have association, but that doesn't really mean they're one of us, you know? Anyways, that's all the time I wanted to take up. Merry Christmas, even though that's already passed. Happy New Year, and have a great 2026. Take care, everyone.